It is a great day in Birdland, ladies and gentlemen, as the Baltimore Orioles win over the Seattle Mariners 5-3, improved to 55 and 66. Yes, we still cover the Baltimore Orioles on the Flex Zone podcast. Go ahead and make sure you guys subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the thumbs up, pushes us to the recommended and the algorithm of other Orioles fans who watch this type of content. And as you're watching us, leave a comment. Let me know what you're looking forward to with the Orioles. I know it's been a little bit of a down season. We've got some good things on the way. We started the week on a somber note. We're going to recap it and look at how this series played out and what's coming up next for the Baltimore Orioles. Thank you guys for joining me here today on Thursday, August 14th, 2025. God's favorite host and you here on the Flex Zone podcast on the Mothership YouTube. Thank you. As I mentioned, it was a crazy whirlwind of a week for the Orioles. Some great things on the horizon with the August 15th date of the prospects being here, of them being called up without losing their rookie eligibility, maintaining that, and potentially able to acquire a draft pick for the Baltimore Orioles if they finish in the tops of the Rookie of the Year voting. Of course, that is one Dylan Beavers in the outfield and one Samuel Basayo at catcher, first base, or DH. Now, before I get into those happenings with what could be on the horizon as the Orioles do take 2 out of 3 from the Mariners, 5 out of 6 in the series. So that was fantastic. Real quick, we did get an update this week on some Orioles. Unfortunately, was not great news. It was somber news a little bit. As you can see, we had basically news on Felix Batista. We knew he had a shoulder injury. He will be done for the entire of the rest of the season. The shoulder injury wasn't something he was dealing with prior to the All-Star break. He was still throwing close to 100 miles per hour. Yeah, he labored a little bit, but he is a guy that the Orioles are going to need in 2026. The question is, will he be healthy? What kind of shoulder injury is it, and will it be something that keeps him out through next year as well? If not, they need bullpen help already, but losing Felix Batista is the kick to the short ones that you don't want. As good as there is in Major League Baseball when healthy, and he will miss the rest of the season. We do know Kyle Bradish will have at least 2 more rehab starts. He's actually starting tonight as of the recording of this video and of the publishing of this video. He will be pitching for AAA Norfolk, and Dylan Beavers is batting leadoff. Tyler Wells will have 2 to 3 more rehab outings. Not sure if he will be a starter or a reliever. Personally, I think he would thrive best in that back end high leverage position in the bullpen. Maybe pair him with Aiken. Hopefully Batista next year. Cano, maybe Ends. Another guy that I'm going to get into as well. There are a lot of needs in the back end of this rotation and the bullpen. Another guy, Albert Suarez, being built up as a bulk reliever. I think that is a good role for him as well. A guy who can start, but also a guy who can eat up innings in the bullpen. Unfortunately, Zach Eflin with the back surgery, he is out for the season as well. Recovery time is 4 to 8 months. He is an impending free agent, but I do think that the way things are lining up, they will probably offer him the qualifying offer for 20 plus million. He will potentially get that offer. If he accepts it, he gets paid for 1 year, then can be a free agent, get another bite of the apple next year, or he could reject it. The Orioles get a draft pick, and if he signs elsewhere, we then see what could happen there. Also from Jacob Calvin Meyer, shout out to him for this as well. Michael Ford, one of their top pitching prospects, is promoted to Double-A. So I did mention it's exciting news for the Baltimore Orioles. Some of their pitching prospects are moving up. Michael Ford going to Double-A could be a guy you look at in 2026 as a part of this franchise. So keep that name in mind. As mentioned, Batista and Eflin out for the remainder of the season. Batista is signed through next year, as well as Eflin is a free agent, but I think Eflin does return because I think it just makes the best business decision personally as well. Also, looking at the aspect of the series, how great was Dean Kramer on Tuesday night? 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, His longest start since a complete game against the Astros in September of 2022. Seventh time going 7 innings this season. So we think about Dean Kramer. We think about the rotation next year. He has to be one of the guys who is a part of this rotation. I look at Bradish, I look at Trevor Rogers, who I'm going to talk about in a second, and I look at Dean Kramer as three of the pieces of the 2026 Baltimore Orioles rotation. But you got to go out and add multiple arms, starters with an S, a couple of S's, and bullpen arms with a couple of S's as well. 3.36 ERA for Dean Kramer in 18 starts since May 1st. 7 innings in 7 of those starts. So 7 out of the 18, he's gone 7. He surrendered 2 or fewer runs, earned runs, that is, in 9 of them. As you can see, the crowd gave him a big standing ovation after the 8 innings of one-run ball. Unfortunately, the Orioles offense was sleepy time, didn't wake up, but they did lose that one. Wednesday, we get Trevor Rogers. I mean, how great has Trevor Rogers been this season? He is a godsend. You look at the trade with Miami, Norby, Stowers. Norby's injured for Miami, but Stowers is one of the breakout players this season in the National League, one of the top 50 players currently in baseball. He is a baller, but it is a rare occasion in sports where both teams are winners in a trade. The Marlins got their big bat in the middle of their lineup and their outfielder. The Orioles get a front end of a rotation guy, potentially in Trevor Rogers. As mentioned, Trevor Rogers was, as you can see, Trey Gibson, also another name in AAA. Look out for him. He struck out his first 3 batters he faced in AAA as well. But you look at uh, the aspect of Trevor Rogers, and I did want to see what he was mentioning. But real quick, also injuries. Colton Cowser and Tyler O'Neill are both going to take a little bit longer. Colton Cowser is still going through concussion protocol, and O'Neill late August, early September as well. So that is going to suck. But you see there, we do have some potential of some guys that are hurt, and that's the thing that is I'm going to remember about this. Honestly, this is what I'm going to remember after this season. Yes, the arms have not been great. The pitching has been lackluster. The offense comes and goes. But when you have 25, 26, upwards of close to 30 people on the injured list, and guys who have been on it multiple times and in extended times, it sucks. You look at the terrible start they had in April and May. Honestly, if they could just have treaded water, they would be around 500. Now, my biggest question for this team moving forward for the rest of the year, they are currently 55 and 66. Now, can they get to 500? I don't know. They don't have a lot of time left. Time is slowly winding down for the Orioles. They've played, what is that, 121 games? So they only have what? Oh, quick flex on math, 41 games left. So you only got 41 games left. And you got to show something. Now, looking at that, Ryan Mountcastle's back. Ryan Mountcastle has been playing pretty solid since he's been back. We know he can play Gold Glove caliber defense. He scored a stole home for the second time this season. And you look at Trevor Rogers, as I mentioned, 6 1/3, 0 runs, 1 start. 2 1/3, 3 runs. 8 innings, 0 runs. 5 1/3, 2 runs. 6 2/3, 0 runs. 6 2/3, 1 run. 6 innings, 2 runs. 7 innings, 0 runs. 8 innings, 1 run. 6 innings, 1 run, and 7 innings, 1 run, which totals out to a 1.43 ERA, 0.81 WHIP, 167 batting average. Definitely should be in a conversation for comeback player of the year and looking like the guy that the Orioles traded for last year. Remember, he was second in rookie of the year. He is a former All-Star, and he is a guy who has controllable years. He is still signed through 2027. He lowered his ERA, WHIP, and batting average coming into Wednesday night's game. And you look at the pitchers with a sub 1.75 ERA since May 24th, Trevor Rogers is the only one with a 1.43 earned run average. Lowest earned runs by a lefty starter in their first 11 starts. Max Fried in 2025, 1.29. Randy Johnson, 1.33 in 2000. And Trevor Rogers, 1.43 in 2025. Dietrich Enns struck out Kyle Riley. That was a big momentum shifting play in that series. And Cano did give up the save opportunity, and Keegan Aiken as well. Well, Keegan Aiken blew it on Sunday. Yannier Cano blew it on Wednesday, tied up. Jackson Holiday did something we didn't see for the Orioles since last September, thanks to Anthony Santander. Walk-off home run. He had a walk-off double, and it was fantastic. They mobbed him. A great moment, a great momentum builder for young Jackson, who's had a breakout season in his own right as well. As you can see, this was the last time they had a walk-off, which was September 19th, 2024 against the San Francisco Giants. Santander, who's been dealing with injuries of his own, a walk-off two-run home run. But you can see the team was very, very excited for young Jackson. Scored Dylan Carlson, who broke out of a 0 for 30 plus streak of not getting a hit. Jackson's been struggling a little bit, so you're good to see guys keep fighting and have an opportunity to make plays when you need it most. Trevor Rogers was fantastic, and you kind of see why he is going to be a big factor of this rotation into 2026. As mentioned, Ryan Mountcastle stole home for the second time this season as well. And Cade Stroud today, that's what the other guy in the bullpen I wanted to shout out. His first 9 appearances in his major league career, 11 and a third pitched, 1.59 ERA, 0.97 whip, 6 strikeouts to 4 walks. So he's definitely a guy, Cade Stroud, to look out for next year in that bullpen because they're going to need arms. Like I said, the rest of the season is going to be on pins and needles watching them trying to maintain a lead because it's 50-50. They could blow a 2 or 3-1 lead or they could hold on a lead. Cano, Aiken, Stroud, I mean, they don't really have a lot of guys that are really getting it done, but Cade Stroud is one of them. He's unproven. I'm sure he'll have some hiccups, but he's a guy to keep your a name to keep your eyes on. Like I said, they're pretty much using scotch tape, bubble gum, paper clips, and Elmer's glue to hold up this bullpen and even this rotation. So you're going to have some good days like today. You're going to have some days like Wednesday where they blow the lead, but good to see the Orioles bounce back as well. And today, the Orioles beat the Mariners 5-3. Real quick, let's get into today's game after the long rain delay. But Tomoyuki Sagano, I said before the season, I even mentioned, I said, don't be surprised if this guy wins 9 or 10 games. Just because a lot of times pitchers aren't familiar with the Japan or pitchers from international waters. They come here, then maybe they have a little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of a struggle. Guys adjust to them. So then they have to readjust. And the ones that can readjust can really show that they have potential to be major league starters. You've seen that with Sagano. He gets his 10th win of the season, 5 and a third before a lengthy rain delay as the Orioles beat the Mariners 5-3. As mentioned, Orioles win 5 out of 6 in this series. And speaking of which, 3.5 runs a game to 2.2 for the Mariners, 5 home runs to 3 for the Mariners, 2.09 starters ERA. But the Mariners weren't too bad themselves, 2.91. And they were coming into this series one of the hottest teams in the American League. And if you're looking at the playoff field, teams you don't want to see in October, teams that could get hot with the lineup they have, Eugenio Suarez, Josh Naylor, Kyle Riley, the big dumper who leads the league in home runs with 45, Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, who looks like his rookie of the year self. The bullpen is added pieces. The starters have been solid over the past few years. Bullpen ERA 4.34 and the Orioles bullpen ERA 2.35. Now, I do think the Mariners bullpen could be a weakness come playoff time if the starters don't go deep enough into games, but they have to be a team you look at that could be very, very competitive. Now, they still are in contention in the AL West. I think only 1 game back of Houston, who the Orioles play, 7 times over the next 2 weeks. They go to Houston this weekend. Then they have Houston come here next week to Camden Yards. Now, they are 67 and 55. They fell a game and a half behind Houston as well. And Kyle Riley did come up to the game. He was walked as a pinch hitter in the ninth. But Sagano has won back-to-back starts for the first time. Should he be a piece of this team maybe in 2026 as they maybe swing arm, a guy who could be a fifth starter or an innings eater in the bullpen, maybe, I wouldn't be opposed to it. He does throw a lot of fly balls, makes a lot of hard contact, but he kept the ball in the ballpark and he did enough to get a win. He threw just 81 pitches, but pulled after the 2 hour, 18-minute rain delay. Now, if this wasn't a rain delay, I could have seen him gone at least another inning, throwing 95 to 100 pitches. So the rain delay kind of messed up the momentum, which I hate. But Rico Garcia comes in and he pretty much gives up a home run, and that's when you're like, oh boy, here we go again. But the score was 5-2, but Dietrich Enns had a 1 out RBI ground out from Randy Rosarina, but Josh Naylor on one pitch. He got his first save since September 20th, 2021, his first 3 out save as well. Logan Evans, the pitcher for the Mariners in the fourth, Jordan Westberg scored on a beautiful sliding play at the home plate. Ryan Mountcastle moved to first to third on that play as well. And then Daniel Johnson was walked. Mountcastle scored when he executed a double steal when him and Johnson did. And then Jeremiah Jackson, RBI single for the Orioles. I'm loving what I've seen from Jeremiah Jackson. We heard about him in the minor leagues. We heard about him being able to hit the baseball all over the field, make hard contact, doesn't strike out a lot, has power potential, learning the outfield. I want to see this guy play as much as possible. And that kind of gets me to the point of Dylan Beavers and Basayo. Do we see them both on the same day? Do we see one come up at time? Do they wait maybe until they get back home next week after Houston and Boston? That could be potential because Beavers is in the lineup tonight. So I don't think Beavers is going to be potentially with the team in Houston if he's playing tonight. So I think it could be a situation where we see Beavers and Basayo next week on the homestand with Houston and we see them play. That way, the Orioles still keep their rookie eligibility. They could potentially be rookie of the years and get that extra year of arbitration eligibility. And the Orioles could get that draft pick that Mike Elias and this regime loves. Connor Henderson may still be the best player on his team, no doubt. I mean, he is the best player on his team, no doubt. He had an RBI double, Mountcastle with a sacrifice fly, Gunnar with 5 extra base hits, 5 straight games with an extra base hit, longest streak of his career as well. I'm intrigued to see how Mountcastle, Basayo, just the manipulation of this lineup. It's been a little more consistent with Manzolino, which I like, but I'm curious to see how he's going to use guys like Mountcastle, guys like Mayo, guys like Beavers, guys like Basayo. Adley had a day off today. He'll be back in the lineup. Gunner, Jackson Holiday, Westport, they're going to be in it. But no Cowser, no Wells for the foreseeable future. So you got an opportunity for Beavers to play. I think maybe in left if needed. And then I'll probably even put Jeremiah Jackson in right. And then in center field, you can go with Carlson. You can go with whomever you want to put there, but maybe even put Beavers in center field as well. So we'll see the manipulation of this lineup, but I think with the opportunity in the outfield, Jackson and Beavers need to be in that lineup every day. That's how I feel about Mayo and even Mountcastle right now because he's playing well. His power is starting to show. He's able to hit the ball to all parts of the field. He plays gold glove caliber defense when he is in the lineup and defensive alignments. So I do want to see what happens there. Keegan Aiken did get Naylor to ground out to second to end the seventh as he stranded runners on the bases, preserving that 5-2 lead. In his last 4 starts, Tomoyuki Sagano, Yu-Gi-Oh as we call him, 3-0 with a 2.31 ERA. The Mariners will have Luis Castillo on the bump tomorrow against the Mets, and the Orioles look like they will have Brandon Young going tomorrow for them against the Astros. And the Astros are a really good team as well. The Astros usually play well against the Orioles. That is the team the Orioles struggle with. What frustrates me about the Orioles is they're beating some of these good teams, and they have a lot of good teams in the second half of the schedule. That is brutal. They play the best of the best of the best, like we played a song. But to see them being able to hang with the Mariners frustrates me because if they didn't start so terribly in April, May, leading into Brandon Hyde's firing, they could be potentially hovering around 500, which would have you in wild card contention in the American League. So it kind of sucks, but looks like Dylan Beavers is in left field tonight as well, as he will play with our guy Kyle Bradish, who is starting tonight, as mentioned. So Beavers can easily come in left field right now. play left field for the Orioles, put Jackson in right, and yeah, no Basayo. Now this is something to look at as well. No Basayo currently in the lineup for the Norfolk Tides. Okay. No Basayo. So could we maybe see Basayo in Houston and then maybe see Beavers next week? And then you kind of spread it out and you don't make it as super obvious for both guys? That could be potential as well. I don't know. They just had an extra long rain delay. They are probably getting ready to hop on a plane as we speak to get to Houston. So I'm not sure how much different the lineup will look tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to make the call up for Basayo or do they wait and maybe do the Jackson Holiday thing where Basayo joins them in Boston, Beavers joins them in Baltimore, because I don't know if they're going to call both of them up the same day. I think they want each one to have their own moment, their own shine, their own opportunity to ingratiate themselves with the fan base and really get an opportunity to be looked at and show what they can do over the last 40 games of the season. They can get those at bats. They can get those opportunities because I don't want to see the Norfolk shuttle when these guys come up, I want them to be in a position where they are playing every day, they are getting consistent at bats, and they are showing what they could potentially do in 2025 and in 2026 and beyond. But Bradish is making a start, so this will probably be one of his last starts. So he'll probably potentially be back with the team by the end of the month, hopefully. And we shall see. But Samuel Basayo and Dylan Beavers, they are both. We know Basayo's a top 100 prospect, depending on who you ask. Beavers may or may not be a top 100 prospect. But I think his ability to play the outfield, play left field, play Jeremiah Jackson in right field, maybe do Carson in center, Basayo. Like I said, I want to see how they play Basayo, Mountcastle, Mayo, because they all need to be in the line. I think they all need to be showing what they can do because Mountcastle potentially to up his trade value for another team. He is still signed through next year. We got to get the young boy Basayo. We got to get Beavers. We got to see what they can do. We know Basayo has the power, has the size, has the look of like an Anthony Santander, of one of those just international stars. That charisma. Dylan Beavers makes good contact. Power is increasing and getting better. He has really fixed his swing, fixed the giddy up in his approach. So he's going to be a guy to look at. So we'll see what happens. I do think it's going to be very, very interesting to look at Dietrich Enns, look at Cade Stroud. So that is what's going to be needed. That is going to be looked at. Like I said, what is this bullpen going to be the rest of the season? Like I said, Enns, Stroud, those should be something that we look forward to as well. Now we do have the potential of starters. Here we go, courtesy of our friend Rock over at Massive Sports. We got the probables for the series this weekend. As I mentioned, Brandon Young tomorrow, Gabe Povich on Saturday, who pitched well on Sunday, and then Dean Kramer coming back on Sunday. Now, I do think Brandon Young is due for at least one. He's a guy I'm looking at maybe in the bullpen next year. Maybe has that Michael Bauman look. But can he get his first career win? He's going to get it eventually, I feel like. Why not in Houston against the first place team? You're going to see Ramon Reyes. Houston has handled you well. Remember last year they went to Houston and things started going downhill. Adley got hurt. Cade Povich, if he can pitch like he pitches, and Dean Kramer. But definitely Brandon Young, Cade Povich. Those are guys I want to see down the stretch. I want to see what Dean Kramer continues to do, Trevor Rogers. And of course, Tomo Yukisciano. Can he maybe get 12, 13 wins? We shall see. But it'll be interesting weekend in Houston. Then they go to Boston for 2, and then they come back home for Houston. So like I said, 7 times over the next 2 weeks for the Houston Astros. Make sure you swing for the fence and hit that subscribe button. Check out that thumbs up. Leave us that thumbs up. It helps us out in the YouTube algorithm, pushes us to recommend it, lets others know about the content we do here for Orioles. I haven't forgotten about you, Orioles fans. I haven't forgotten about you, Bear fans. We still do Orioles content here on the channel. We still do Orioles content here on the podcast. So make sure you stay tuned to what we do on the Flex On podcast. Only place giving you sports, how you want and when you need it. Home of the Baltimore Orioles, Baltimore Ravens, and all the content that you love each and every day. Flagship podcast on Mondays, live streams and watch alongs and Orioles content throughout the rest of the season and throughout the year. I'm getting out of here. Exciting news for the Orioles. Dylan Beavers is on the way. Samuel Basayo is on the way, as is yours truly, God's favorite host. I'll get more Orioles content. We got 40 games left. Can the Orioles get to 500? We'll see. Sign off in the comment section. If you made it this far in the video, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're looking forward to with this team, what you're looking forward to with this franchise heading into the offseason, and what you're looking forward to overall for this franchise. Can they finish at 500? That is going to be the key for them. Can they get to 500? Can they make the season somewhat of a positive down the stretch? Because are they going to be a team that just lays down to these playoff teams and these good teams? Or are they going to be a team that rises up, which I think they've shown, and plays well? I think Manzolino's starting to learn his job a little better. Guys are starting to become who we think they could be at the offensive level and with the defense getting better. Not as many errors. The bullpen is doing a good job as well. Like I said, Basayo looks like he's probably going to maybe be with the team sooner rather than later, as is Dylan Beavers. He's getting healthier. He's going to get more guys back. Radish, Wells, Adley will be back in the lineup. Gunner's red hot. Mountcastle is back. Jeremiah Jackson has shown something. So we shall see. I'm not giving up on the season yet. I don't think they'll make playoffs, but they hover around 500. We'll see. Stay tuned. More content on the channel. Baltimore Orioles and more on the Flex Zone podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. God's favorite host. I'll see you on the next video. Orioles go to Houston, then Boston, then back home for Houston next week. We'll probably see the debuts of Dylan Beavers and Samuel Basayo real roast. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Happy recap. Orioles get to win 5-3, take 5 out of 6 from the Mariners, who are a really good team that you should look out for in October. Made a lot of moves on the rise and maybe could even win the AL West. They'll see the Astros this weekend. So that'll be a good test for the Orioles as well. We know how bad things have gone when they play the Astros. Like I said, Adley got hurt. The offense just kind of died out, and the team just boom, took a nosedive. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. I'm getting out of here. More Orioles content will be here. I'm always going to cover the Olds. That's my team. I know I love them. Appreciate you. Right here on the Flex Home Podcast. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching.